Hello, my name is Joseph Sperduto, and I'm doing the Diagnostics project for Project and Portfolio 4. Currently, I made Simon Says for my project assignment. Simon Says is a memory game of sorts where the Simon, or the AI of the game, will present the player with a series of colored buttons in presses that they have to then repeat. For demonstration, I will present to you a test playthrough. So for this, there's no errors down here. At the start of the game, a crescendo plays. That's also the losing signal. But then, after a click, Simon will play. Simon presents the player with an option. It will then, once the player repeats it, it will then give the player another step within that process, equal to the number of rounds. So currently it's red, red, yellow. This goes up to 10, where the player then gets a win crescendo if they win. However, we will not be seeing that all today. What we're going to focus on is the code. For this, I mainly have everything running inside of the update function. There is an if statement for if the game is playing or not, and if the game is not playing, to test if they should restart the game. Otherwise, when the game is running, I have a timer constantly getting added to that has a bool to stop time from increasing. Then I have if it clicked anything, I want to test it out what it is to find out where it goes. Otherwise, there is the time loss if you fail to click a button in a certain amount of time. In this case, it's 5 seconds, so that the player has time to see all the visuals pop up because of due to delays. Then if they haven't clicked in 5 seconds, that it allows this to pass through, as well as there's other ways to trigger this later so that I can have them lose the game. Lastly, there is the win condition. If the player has filled up the maximum amount that I want, which was 10 for this game, then the play and all of those entries were equal to Simon's entries, then let them win. The win and loss differences are crescendos. I have a crescendo up of the red, yellow, blue, green cycle, and for if they win, and a downwards crescendo if they lose. I also have downward crescendo to signal start of each of the games. Otherwise, we'll go into test hit. At the beginning of the game, if it's the beginning of the game, have Simon start first, and don't do the test hit first. Otherwise, we want to do a raycast from where the mouse is to see what it hit. If it hit either of these 4 buttons, the different colored objects on the screen, I want to save what that object is and pass it to player inputs. Player inputs then tests to see if they've lost because they've not pressed the same button as Simon. It highlights the button they pressed, and then if they've pressed enough times that they've equaled the round count so that they have the same input array as Simon, then to add the last one to the array and invoke Simon again to call up another entry within his array. After that, adding to Simon, what he does is he tests if time is running. If it's not, make sure it is. Simon wants it always on, so that the player has to be timed for loss. Then it goes into the for loop to test to see if their arrays are the same. If their arrays are the same, it then grabs a random. It increases the round, stops the player from clicking until he's done, adds one randomly to his array, and then shows the highlight for it. After that, if the player has won or lost, if either win or lose is called, turns everything off and waits for them to click again at the beginning. And then lost music is a certain crescendo down, win music is crescendo up. When I reset the game, I have both of the entries for Simon and player be reset to 0 for each of them, and then I again wait for the game playing to be reset. Otherwise, that is my Simon project.